Steph Curry is the MVP of the NBA this year. Klay Thompson is coming to his own as a star. Steve Kerr has had a great first year as a coach. Draymond Green is damn near a max player. Andre Iguodala has been a man on other teams. He's been a team player enough to accept a bench role. Cleveland Cavaliers, Kevin Love's injured and out for the playoffs. Kyrie Irving has been injured and he's not battle-tested in the playoffs like that till this year. LeBron James was in chill mode for half the season. He even took a 2-week vacation. David Blatt seemed overmatched at points as a coach this year. And for all you Golden State Warriors fans, I think there are a lot of reasons to pick the Warriors to beat the Cavs in the finals. Well, here's the thing. I got some good news and I got some bad news. Let's get into this finals preview.
DreAllDay.com.
What up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. We are here. The NBA Finals are beginning June 4th, 2015. I'm putting this video out on June 3rd, 2015, just so all of you can let me know what you think about the finals. But first of all, you need to listen to what I think. Now, first of all, let's get back to the conference finals because I made prediction videos for every series that took place this year. I did the first round, second round, and then I did each series for the conference finals. Actually, I did each series for the second round on. So first, let's talk about the Western Conference Finals. Let's talk about the Western Conference Finals. So we had, I forgot who it was. It's been so long. We had the Golden State Warriors as the number 1 seed going against the Houston Rockets as the number 2 seed. I thought the Rockets had a chance to compete. I thought with the team that they had, with Dwight Howard doing this thing in the post, even though Golden State has good post guys, nobody on Golden State is as good as Dwight Howard, a healthy Dwight Howard. And the Rockets, the way that they showed resilience and toughness with their veterans and coming back and stunning the LA Clippers in the conference semis, I thought they could at least win 2 games and maybe win 3 and send it to a game 7 against the Warriors, but that was not to be. Houston basically got stomped out the first 3 games of the series. The Warriors took the first 2, which were not blowouts, but then game 3, they just went in there and destroyed Houston. Steph Curry was just killing those guys. And me personally, living on the East Coast, I didn't stay up late to watch a lot of Warriors games, and I didn't even buy a league pass this year. I used to buy a league pass, but I stopped buying it because I wasn't watching the game. So I was basically wasting $200 a year buying league pass. So I stopped buying league pass. So I didn't even see a lot of full Golden State Warriors games this year, but I know I saw enough. I did not watch them at all, but I saw enough to know who's who and what's what. But watching Stephan Curry, man, every time that dude shoots a 3-pointer, you feel like it's about to go in, no matter how crazy the angle, how much the defense is on him, or what it looks like when he releases it. It always feels like the shot's about to go in. And that game 3 against Houston, that's pretty much what happened. And they just killed those guys, just ran them out of their own gym. And we knew the series was over then. It was 3-0. Houston came back and at least showed some professionalism in showing up for game 4, winning, sending it to a game 5. But Golden State put them away. Finished out the series in 5 games. As far as the Houston Rockets go, James Harden was good, but he wasn't fantastic in the series. I don't think James Harden was fantastic at any point in the playoffs really this year. He had some games in the regular season where he was killing way more than I saw him kill in the playoffs. But Houston is Houston. I think they will be back next year. They lost a couple pivotal guys this year. They lost Domo at the forward spot, and they also lost Patrick Beverley at the point guard spot. And I think with those 2 guys in there, and maybe 1 or 2 other tweaks, what those are going to be, I don't know. I think they can come back and get to the conference finals again. As long as Dwight Howard's healthy and James Harden are healthy, they got a chance. And if Josh Smith plays his role the way he played pretty well once he got to Houston. So I think they'll be all right. As far as the Eastern Conference Finals, man. Well, here's the thing about the Eastern Conference Finals. First, let me talk about the West real quick. When I made my prediction in the West, a lot of Warriors fans, I know there's a lot of Warriors fans watching this video, they were saying, Houston ain't got a chance. The Warriors are going to beat them easily. And I said, man, you can't really say somebody's going to win easily in the NBA playoffs. You're talking about the best 4 teams in the NBA at that point in the season. But Golden State did pretty much stomp Houston out pretty handily. So I had to say those people were quote-unquote right. I wouldn't say it was easy, but they did pretty much dominate them. They call it a gentleman's sweep. 4-1 is what they call a gentleman's sweep, since they did win 1 game. They let them win 1 game. As far as the Eastern Conference Finals, when I made that prediction video, I said the Cavs was going to beat them. I said maybe 6 or 5, and a lot of Hawks fans stepped up and said, the Hawks, they play more like a team than the Cavaliers do. They don't have the stars. They're not all individuals like the Cavs. And I really don't like that argument. It's what I call a straw man argument. People say that whenever one team has like a big superstar, big name superstar guy, and the other team doesn't, then the fans of the team that don't have the stars say, oh, well, this team plays more like a team. Just because your team doesn't have a superstar doesn't make them more of a team than the other team. And mind you, we're talking about LeBron James, who is the best team superstar I've seen in a long time. Actually, in my time watching basketball, which goes back, let's say, roughly 20 years, a little bit less, he's the best team superstar I've seen. He is the epitome of a team player. He just happens to be really fucking good. So to say that the Hawks are more of a team than the Cavs is ridiculous. And, I mean, we saw what happened in the conference finals. The Hawks did lose Kyle Korver, who is a pivotal player, even though he's not like a guy who's going to just take over and dominate. His presence spaces the floor because you got to have somebody following him, and he opens up the floor for all the other guys on the court. DeMarre Carroll was a little bit banged up, I guess, for the Hawks, but the Cavs were just the better team. We got to remember the Cavs are playing without Kevin Love. They traded the #1 pick in the draft to get Kevin Love, and Kevin Love's an all-star. And Kevin Love's better than Kyle Korver, and Kevin Love didn't play at all. So the Cavs still stomped them because LeBron James was the best player on the floor all 4 games. Kyrie Irving missed, 2 of those games, 3 of those games, 2.5, and they still pretty much destroyed the Atlanta Hawks. So let's get into the finals now. So we have the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Golden State Warriors. Golden State is the host of this series. They had the best record in the league, best home record in the NBA. I think they only lost, 1 home game, all playoffs. It might be 1 or 2 home games, all playoffs. So they are on a roll. They got the MVP of the league, Stephan Curry, all-star Klay Thompson. They got a star guy who has decided to become a bench player and accepted his role in Andre Iguodala. Draymond Green, who a lot of people think will get a very nice, hefty contract after this season, whether in Golden State or somewhere else. You got a former all-star in David Lee, who's not even really in the rotation that much right now. They have a very good team. They feeling good. The city's energized, I'm sure, out there in the Bay. Then you got the Cleveland Cavaliers, who at the beginning of the season didn't seem too great. They were playing 500 ball for a good amount of time. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love and LeBron James didn't seem to quite mesh together till later in the season. Kyrie, of course, and Kevin didn't have any playoff experience at all. They didn't know what it felt like to win or what it took to win, quote unquote. At least that's what all the analysts were saying. LeBron James had to come in and, he said it's going to take some time, be patient with us. It didn't look like the Cavs were really going to compete this year. It looked like the Hawks were a better team. It looked like Chicago was a better team. It looked like a lot of teams, the Raptors, the Wizards, it looked like all of them were better teams. But late in the season after the All-Star break, the Cavs went on a roll. They started kicking some ass. They get into the playoffs, killed Boston in the first round. Kevin Love gets injured. They go through the second round with a Bulls team that looked like they might be able to beat the Cavs until they didn't. Until LeBron makes that 3 at that 2. It was actually a long 2 at the buzzer to win whichever game that was. And the Cavs pretty much finished the Bulls off after that. And then we get to the conference finals where they're playing the Hawks, this great team who did have the best record in the Eastern Conference. They are a great team, or at least they were. And then LeBron James became LeBron James, and that was all she wrote. So looking at this series, we got a lot of intriguing matchups. First one, of course, we will look at the point guard position where you got Kyrie Irving, who I think is going to be hopefully 100% healthy going into the finals now that they've had all those days off after sweeping the Eastern Conference Finals, going up against Steph Curry, the NBA's MVP this season. Steph is on fire. Kyrie Irving's not the greatest defensive player out there, but again, neither is Stephan Curry. So I think both of those guys are going to score a lot of points on each other. I think Steph might score a few more, maybe. But I think actually offensively, when it comes to points, I think those guys are going to cancel each other out. Because neither one of them is a shutdown defender, and both of them can score in bunches, even though Steph shoots more. Steph gets his a lot in threes, and Kyrie gets his more in 2-point buckets. But both of them are capable of both driving and hitting the outside shot. They're both going to score a bunch of points on each other. They're both going to create a lot of opportunities for their teammates, which is what really their threat is, because they're going to draw help from defenders, because neither one of them is going to stop the other one one-on-one. Klay Thompson, I heard, had a concussion, and he hasn't quite been cleared. As of the time I'm recording this, he wasn't cleared, but he's expected to play Thursday. I think he'll be pretty much involved in the majority of this series. He's going to be, I think, a good matchup for the Cavs with either Shumpert or J.R. Smith matching up with him at the 2-guard spot. Both of those guys are athletic and they have the size to go blow for blow with Klay Thompson. Maybe not come back on him offensively. Maybe J.R. if he gets hot. Not consistently every game, but they can go up against him physically. They have the ability physically to match up with him. So that's going to be a good matchup. And at the 3 spot, I don't know what the Warriors are going to do. They mix up their lineups often, not the starting lineups, but their overall lineups. You got Harrison Barnes, and you also got Draymond Green, and then Bogut at the 5, and the Cavs got Mozgov, Tristan Thompson, and of course Mr. LeBron James. I like the matchup for the Warriors that they have Harrison Barnes and Draymond Green, both guys who can step to the outside on the perimeter and kind of either hit shots or create off the bounce, while the Cavs have LeBron. Tristan Thompson and Mozgov are not guys who are going to take the ball and dribble and create a shot off the bounce. But I think Tristan Thompson defensively, he has the foot quickness to stay in front of guys like Draymond and even a Harrison Barnes. And he has the length to challenge shots. So it makes it hard to shoot over that guy, even if you can create space with your handle because he's so long and he's so quick. On the offensive boards, Tristan Thompson has made himself a lot of money this postseason. We all know that. He's going to make himself even more money in the finals because he's going to keep doing the same thing. He's a player that, what I like about Tristan Thompson, he's finally realized his niche. What is it that makes him most valuable to a team? Because a lot of players can do a lot of things. It's not always necessarily about what you can do, but what it is that you do that helps your team the best. And Tristan Thompson has figured out what that is, which is finishing plays when he catches the ball and grabbing as many rebounds as possible. And that's what he's been doing, and he's been doing a very good job of it. He's going to keep doing that. The Cavs are going to need that in the finals. Now, my prediction for the series is this. Stephan Curry has been the man this year, and he's going to win he's going to win a game or two for the Warriors this series. I'm not saying that they're only going to win a game or two, but he's going to do some spectacular things in the series because that's what he does. I see Draymond Green having a big game at least once in this series where everybody's talking about him. I think all his games will be good. Klay Thompson's going to have a game or two also. And I think as far as coaching goes, I actually think Steve Kerr has the coaching edge over David Blatt. And the Warriors have home court advantage. They have probably the best home court advantage in the NBA. It's probably the closest thing to like a college arena, going to the Golden State Arena when those fans really get into it. And this being the finals, their first time in 40 years being there, the fans will be into this one. And Stephan Curry is the man. He is the MVP this year. He's been one of the best players in the world. He got the top vote getter in the All-Star game. So all y'all know Steph Curry's work. I don't have to talk him up. However, the best player alive in basketball right now in the entire sport of basketball is not 6'3", is not light-skinned, and he ain't from North Carolina. Best player alive is 6'8", 200-something pounds. I don't know how much. He's from Akron, Ohio. His name is LeBron James. He is the best player in the world. Any team he plays on is automatically a contender just by his mere presence. He can play all 5 positions. He can guard all 5 positions. And he has shown over the last, 5 years straight, he's taken an NBA team to the finals as the best player on that team. I think we can all agree that he's been the best player on his last 5 teams. Maybe you could say Dwayne Wade was equal to him his first year in Miami, but other than that, it's been pretty clear. This man is the ultimate team player. He just happens to be super talented, so he can do a lot of individual things at the same time. But anybody who plays with LeBron James automatically is 25% better just because he makes the game easier for everybody else. He takes the pressure off everyone else and allows everyone to do only what they need to do and what they do best. So nobody has to stretch themselves when they're playing with LeBron, because he covers up a lot of things that players can't do. He covers up everyone's weakness. And for that reason, because of LeBron James, as I've said every series in this playoffs, when 2 teams are pretty evenly matched, and these 2 teams, they're the 2 best teams in the league, so yes, they are evenly matched, I got to go with the team who has the best player. And sometimes I'm right about that, as I pick LeBron James in the Heat every year he was in Miami. I was right 2 times and wrong twice. And last year, when they played the Spurs, I picked the Heat because they had LeBron James. I was wrong about it. Well, this year, I'm picking LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the NBA Finals in 6 games. They will win it at home, Game 6, Quicken Loans Arena, LeBron James will be Finals MVP again. LeBron James will have another championship. So he said not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. So this will be what, number 3? If he wins this championship, I'm going to go with LeBron James and the Cavs. 6 games to win the NBA Finals because he is the best player in the world. He knows how much this is going to mean to his city, to his team, to his legacy, and to his teammates. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Steve Kerr, maybe next year. You agree? Disagree? What do you think? And why? Leave them down there in the comments. I ain't even got to tell y'all that. I'm sure people are already writing comments before I even finish this video. NBA Finals 2015. Let the games begin. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Checking out this video. Make sure you follow all my top content up here. Follow me on all your favorite social networks right over here. And make sure you are subscribed to catch all the new content I put on this channel every single day.